Okay, so now that we're back and hopefully clarified things, so let's take a moment and discuss peer review number 3. And this will also mimic peer review assignment 4. I think if you look at both of them, you'll see that the requirements are exactly the same, except for a small variation. So if you haven't pulled up the assignment tab already for that, please go ahead and do so now. I'll pause for a second while you pause and pull it open. And hopefully we're now back, right? So for peer review assignment 3 and 4, right, we have a few elements that we're discussing, right? So one is to pick a theory. So that's the first thing that we've discussed in class so far. So, that's deterrence theory, routine activities, social bond theory, social learning theory, and so on, right? We have to outline the history of the assignment. We also explain how the theory predicts crime. So why does crime occur or not occur depending on what your perspective is, right? We have to explain the correlates, how it accounts for certain correlates of crime. We have to do the criteria part. So use criteria to judge it. I would recommend using the 3 that you did in the first assignment. I don't see any reason why you have to create new criteria to use it. So just use the ones that you've already used before. And then, then we the policy implications of the theory. So this is a big chonker, right? And hopefully you guys have been working on it. And if you haven't, well, now is the time to start working on it, right? Because this is kind of a big thing. So let's talk about a few things that come up for this that I've seen in the past that students do, and despite me advising them not to do it, right, that's kind of an issue. So the first one is we'll talk about bio and psych. So sometimes what students will do is that they'll have this kind of assignment and they will say that, okay, I'm doing this and I'm going to do all biological theories. And when they do that, they do like Lombroso. They'll also do like body type. And then they'll do genetics and things like that, right? And really what ends up happening, what I think ends up happening is that students are basically just following the outline that's in the chapter that they've read, and so they lump all this together. But the thing is that this is unique from this and this. These are all different things, but when you start talking about all 3 of them in the same section, right, you're basically talking about 3 different theories. And it also gives me the impression that students, like the student who writes about this, can't distinguish between the 3 of them, but now if you introduce all 3, you're now responsible for all this other crap that you have to do for each of these, right? If you choose a biological theory, only select one of them, right? So if I want to talk about biological theory and crime, I will discuss specifically Lombroso's theory. Do not talk about Lombroso, body type, and like genetics, right? Like that is not required, and it's not the expectation, right? The same thing will also happen with like psych theories, right? So people will choose like, I'm going to discuss psychological based theories, and I will do psychopathy. I will do discuss depression, anxiety. I will also talk about like the Minnesota multiphasic personality inventory, and whatever, right? So they'll talk about all 3 of these things, but like these right here for the bio and the psych, right? These are like families of theories, right? But it's not a specific individual one, right? So if you were to talk about, like a psychological theory, select one, such as psychopathy, and then only discuss psychopathy. There's nothing else to discuss. There's nothing else to cover. You only need to pick the one and then do everything, that it's that you're expected to do for this kind of theory, right? You get, again, if you start talking about psychopathy, depression, anxiety, the Minnesota multiphasic personality inventory, then you're responsible for discussing all of them, right? Like the thing is, like, I think what students, you're either like just regurgitating a chapter, or they're scattershotting and hoping that explains and fixes everything throughout that thing. And that's simply not the case, right? You're not required or asked to do all of those things, but it's also one of those things that's like, you can't just write everything and hope that something sticks and I find a way to pass, right? Be concise, be direct, like really hone in on what is the expectation and requirement. That's going to be the best thing that you can do. So don't fall into that trap, right? If you're going to talk about a specific theory, pick a specific theory. Do not select a family of theories, right? So if we talk about control theories, select a control theory. So a control theory would be the general theory of crime, or social bonds theory. Do not pick all, right? If you do a learning theory, do differential association or social learning theory. Do not select both, right? So keep that in mind. If you do like a rational choice kind of theory, like deterrence kind of theory, you can pick deterrence, rational choice, or routine activities theory. Do not select all of them, right? Only pick one. That is the key method. So we'll pause this video. Well, I'm going to end this video here, and then we'll continue this in the next video.